Hey, look, the stone is glowing. Welcome back, friend. Glad that you're with us again to listen to some more of my hunting stories. You might be able to hear in the background, like ocean waves and the creaky ships. I'm not sure which you can hear on your side other than me talking, but we are on a ship on our way back to the continent of Idrithira from the Frostlands, and it was definitely a very profitable snow goose hunt, and I'm super excited to kind of talk to you about it. But I've brought a friend with me today. Say hi, Flint.
Hi.
Flint is an Earth Genasi who I've known for quite a while. But Flint, where do you come from? I met you in Brazen Tree, but do you live in Brazen Tree, or where have you moved to on the continent of Idrithira?
I live in Brazen Tree.
So, whenever we left to come down here, we met up at my house in Voxdom and came down to Mesocliff, where we got on a boat and we sailed down to the Frostlands. But I kind of want to let you do some of the talking, Flint. Can you tell us about our setup that we had?
Well, we were in a wheat field, and with a little pond in the middle, and we had 400 decoys out there. Pretty nice setup.
It was a very nice setup. So we had about I think it was about 60 floating decoys out in the water, and we had about probably about 200 or so silhouettes. Now, so a floating decoy, it's like the full body shape of a snow goose, and it's got a weight tied to the bottom of it so it doesn't float off for whenever you do some deeper water hunting. Even in a pond, they can get moved out into the middle where you wouldn't be able to get to them if they weren't anchored properly. So we had about 60 floating decoys out in the water. A silhouette is just that. It's like a cutout looking version of a snow goose, and we also had some shocks. The shocks catch the wind whenever the wind is blowing, which we had we would say an average wind. It wasn't high winds. The speed of it was comfortable. It wasn't overwhelming. And we actually were able to hunt with the wind to our back, which was quite nice. And we hunted out of a hyvert blind, probably about 30 or 40 yards off of the water. And the wind, because, again, Frostlands, so it's very cold. The whole point of hunting the Frostlands for snow geese late spring like we were is they migrate down towards the southern part of Idrithira, but they eventually make their way down to the tundras of the Frostlands for a little bit before turning around and migrating back north of Idrithira across the Merganser Channel. And whenever they come down like this, the hunting in the Frostlands is out of sight. So we stayed at a hotel at a small, wouldn't even call it a town. It was just a small colony of sorts where we slept overnight before going out to our field that we hunted, and it was comfortable. We overslept because we were super tired from the journey down, and we ended up still getting it out in time. We sat for an hour before sunlight actually hit, so we did okay. And then obviously as soon as it started to get light, we started calling for the snow geese, but no luck for the first 4 hours, other than a young white dragon came in.
Yeah, that was scary.
It was very scary. We had no place to go other than in our blind, and thankfully our blind kept us pretty well covered. But we hunted with some new weapons this trip. We hunted with it's known as a firearm. It's this one in particular shoots several pellets out of a what is known as a shell, and this weapon is called a shotgun. And matter of fact, this particular shotgun, because obviously in our realm of Idrithira, people know a lot of like the single or double shot shotguns where it's got like 2 barrels and 2 triggers, but this one is a lot fancier because it's known as a semi-automatic shotgun, and so whenever you shoot one shell, the gas from the explosion of firing that first shell actually causes it to reload the second shell, and so that movement is what reloads your gun for you. But you can only do that for 3 shells. It's not like you have an unlimited amount of shells. So we did have to reload after a certain amount of shots. We had, but I say 3 shells. That's whenever you're using what is known as a plug in your gun. During snow goose season, you don't have to have the plug in your gun, so you can shoot more. My shotgun and your shotgun both hold 6 shots.
Yeah, that was the first time I ever used one of them.
They were very cool, very expensive, but definitely changed up waterfowling for me. It's definitely going to be a fun season next year. This was the first time that I got to use the gun, and definitely looking forward to not throwing rocks at doves this year.
Yeah.
But, so, whenever that dragon came in, we really didn't have much of an option, did we? So, it was definitely a fight situation, or at least we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, there was a shelter in the ground, but it was really, really far away.
It was really far away. There was like some sort of like cave in the middle of the field or what have you, and not sure why or how that got there, but we thought we were going to have to try and break a run for it, but we wouldn't have made it in time, so our options were fight. And we thankfully didn't even have to do that, because a really scary looking like ancient white dragon came in and chased off the young white dragon that was there. And I guess, Flint, I've been doing a lot of the talking. Why don't you tell our friend here that like what exactly a white dragon is? Can you explain that? Because maybe they've never seen one before. I don't know where the audio or the sound of our voices is going through this sending stone or whatever this is.
Well, they're basically just a white dragon, and they breathe out a icy blizzard. So, wouldn't feel nice to be in one of those. It will hurt the older they are, and the young one it would have hurt, but we might have been able to get out of it somehow. But the ancient man, if he stopped and saw us, I don't think we'd be talking right now.
No, we definitely wouldn't have. But the cool thing about snow geese is there's such a huge overpopulation of them that there is no limits. And we, after the dragons left, we actually ended up getting in the geese pretty good, didn't we?
Yeah, I think the dragons helped us.
Well, I don't know if they so much helped us, or it was the geese were waiting until they got out of the area, and then they decided to come into the field to feed. And the first group of snow geese that we had, there was 79 in that first group, and we dropped 5 of them, and they all fell in the water, which was kind of cool because they were coming in and they were just kind of like flying in low, and they didn't land, any of them in that first group, and we knocked them off pretty good.
I do think they probably were waiting and circling around the field where we weren't seeing them, and they knew the dragons were incoming somewhere, and they were waiting for them to go away.
And with that first group, I almost forgot, I did get 3 with 1 shell.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was crazy. And then, like, not long after that, we had another group come in, and that group was pretty good size too, and we dropped a few, and we got lucky, and I think we had about 6 waves worth of geese coming in, and we definitely dropped some each time. Even some of them hung around long enough for us to reload and shoot into the flock again, which was kind of a surprise. Matter of fact, you hear that?
Oh yeah, I wonder if that's part of the flock.
Well, it sounds like a flock is flying over us right now as we're over, like, in the ocean. and let's go stick our heads out the door. We're in the one of the lower levels of the ship. Yeah, looks like look at that flock flying high.
Big, nice flock.
Yeah, there's probably a couple hundred up there. If only you know what? Maybe we need to plan a big ocean crossing snow goose hunt. Maybe we'll get us some like small boats and get a couple miles off of the coast of Idrithira next winter and try to do some open water snow goose hunting.
Yeah.
Because the ocean water there is pretty calm once we get out a little ways from the coast, to where we could probably set up a good spread of floating decoys and be in them.
Yeah, we should probably, though, before we did that, we should probably make sure no big boats come in through and, start ramming into our decoys.
Yeah, we would find a spot outside of the shipping lanes, for sure. Definitely want to be safe. That's one of the most important things about hunting is being safe, because obviously, like, it's fun, the meat is amazing, but you definitely got to be safe.
Yeah.
All in all, though, we ended up with like 61 geese, and you were nice enough to actually give me a few, 18 actually, to take back, and I'm gonna sell off probably about 12 of the geese, and then the rest will keep me fairly well fed on top of all the other hunting that I'm gonna do this year. I have a big turkey season planned out that we'll be talking about once we get to that season. I'll be talking to our friend here about that, but things are starting to slow down as far as hunts go and stuff, but it'll definitely be nice to get back to Idrithira where the weather's a little bit warmer.
Yeah.
Well, Flint, I think we're going to have to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for talking to my friend on the other end of this stone here, and thank you for being my friend, and I can't wait to do more hunts with you. I know my turkey season doesn't line up with your turkey season as far as plans go, but I think I'm going to go with another friend for a couple of them.
Yeah, I'm glad I was able to come with you for the snow goose.
Yes, the snow goose was a lot of fun, but, well, I guess you and me are going to go listen to the geese on the deck for a little bit and just kind of hang out. Until next time, friend.